Hey everyone, welcome back. It's currently Tuesday, March 11th, 9:26 p.m. as of the time I'm recording this video. I want to give an update on stuff. I've definitely not been, giving you guys updates for the past couple of days. Just want to recap how last week went and then how this week started off. So last week was a really big success. I think I talked about this before, but like finishing a lot of the work that I had to get done and just being ahead of the game, really being super productive and efficient with my time really helped me a lot last week because I was able to just finish a lot of different tasks. And we have to realize that each week is different. Each week has its own struggles. And for me, this next week was just a whole new load of different tasks that I had to do. And it's not like I just was able to just be like, okay, I'm gonna chill, it's all good. Nah, unfortunately, there was much more because this is the week before finals. So if anything, the intensity of all the work is ramping up like a lot. But I definitely want to share some stuff because I'm juggling this sort of creating content with my pre-final studying as well. And a lot of that's pretty challenging, but I think that it's definitely manageable if you guys are using kind of the productivity tips I'm sharing on this channel. And that's why I'm really doing it, just to help you guys out as much as possible so you guys can learn from really what's been successful for me. I want to talk more in general just about this process of trying to get better and more specifically with this kind of content thing, what I've noticed recently. So for full transparency, I've really started just creating content in general, probably last year around the end of the year, maybe let's say like December. And then I started seriously getting into it at the beginning of this calendar year. So that's like around January. So it's been about like 2 to 3 months. And I have to say that the biggest thing I've said in a lot of my productivity videos, you have to get started first to really figure out what you want to do and what you need to do. And making content is the biggest example of that, I think. It's like so many times in life, we want to just plan everything out. We always want to think like, oh, we have the best ideas. We need to plan it first and then we'll execute. But a lot of times you just have to fail your way to success. You just have to put in the reps and learn from those reps. And the only way you're gonna learn from those reps is by actually putting them in. So I cannot even count the number of videos I made that are just absolutely horrendous. Like if you guys watch this, it's just gonna be like, you wanna tear your eyes out. They're actually terrible, right? But those are the videos that made me realize, okay, what's a good video, what's not a good video? Or like, what should I talk about, what should I not talk about? Or those kind of things, right? Or even how do I set up my camera properly? All of that stuff is stuff you just have to learn. So in life, from whatever you're doing, there's so many things you have to learn, but the fastest way to learn that is just by actually taking action. Because once you do something, you're gonna get immediate feedback of, okay, was that the right thing or not the right thing? Now for next time you have some basis or experience to make the correct decision going forward. And so I wanna say now, like I've seen a lot of people's comments kind of saying like, oh, the algorithm's messing you up, you're not getting the reputation or the views that you need to be getting, and like your content deserves so much more. I think this idea of deserving stuff is very relative. I'm actually very happy with my progress right now. And honestly, I'm okay if this stagnates for a while. Like I'm personally just expecting to put in a lot more work before I see any results whatsoever. And I think that we just have to be more happy with that and just be content with the idea that we're still making progress, because the way we should track our progress is not by the output or the results, but more by how much we input. Because as long as we lock down that we're going to continue to work for this many like hours or continue to just make this many videos or do these many tasks each day or make this many calls if you're trying to do sales or something, like that's the stuff we can actually control. Everything else is very hard to control. But if you just really work on what you can control and then focus on always controlling that and always just going after that, always putting that work, then eventually those other things you can't control will start to line up because you'll have enough experience. But you can't be discouraged by the fact that, oh, my first video didn't get 1,000 views. Like that's just not gonna be something you can expect. And I think for me, because I have that expectation in mind, I realize that I'm totally fine sitting here making a lot of videos. Because for me, if this reaches just one person and this one person resonates with this video, that's already enough for me. Truly, it like actually is. I'm not even joking. I really mean it. Like I'm just trying to show as much of the journey and behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people are showing. And if someone resonates with it, that was already the goal of this video. And it doesn't have to be 1,000 people. I don't need to go viral. I just need someone to kind of gain value from this, to kind of improve or learn something from my journey, from my struggles as well. And so this is something I think I've realized too, is like we have to be more patient and we have to be more grateful. I'm so grateful for all the subscribers I have right now, or for all the people on my different platforms following me or watching my videos. Like I'm just truly grateful, and thank you guys to everyone. And especially if you're new, thank you as well. But I think so many times we get caught up with all these super high standard people who have millions and millions of followers and getting thousands and thousands of views on every single video. And we just get discouraged. But we can't be allowing that to discourage us, because we have a long way to go on our own journey. And the only way to get to where those people are is to continue and not give up. And so that's why you got to use every edge you got. So being grateful is a great way to just appreciate what you have. because it's important to strive for more, but it's also important to appreciate what you already have. Because if you keep striving for more eternally, like what's going to happen is you're never going to be a satisfied person, and you may be a billionaire, but you're still not satisfied. And that could be good in some ways if you always keep growing, but at a certain point it becomes kind of toxic and you don't want to do that. So I think for me, just being very happy with what I have right now, but committing myself to continuing to put in that work. And that's just something I'm really looking forward to. And I know that there's so much potential for growth, I think, in these next couple months that I'm going to see, hopefully, as long as I continue to put in the work. And it's something that I'm just very excited for. And something I'm really getting a taste of now, I think, is the little like start of just momentum, like some sort of momentum. I think before it was just really dry. Like it was really just a lot of videos just like completely underperforming and me posting content that wasn't really what it should be. But now I think I'm starting to learn so much, and I have the knowledge of how to make something better, and I'm actually implementing that. So it's kind of like when the stars align in a sense. So I really feel like I'm starting to gain some sort of traction with this. And that's really what's exciting me, because I know that personally, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue to put in the work and just keep going. And that's where just like the possibilities really open up. So I think that like we can't expect things right now. We can't be too hopeful for the like tomorrow, what's going to happen. Like, oh, I can't expect to go viral by tomorrow. But I can expect that maybe in half a year, things will get a lot better. Maybe I'll grow a lot if I keep going and keep learning, keep improving. So I think we need to shift our mindset to kind of focus on the long term, because you look at all the stories of successful people and they just mastered the long-term game. So many people would have given up in the first week, but they stayed past that first week, and then the week after, and then again, and then the year after, and then the next year. You can't expect something beautiful to come just instantly. Never in life does anything really worth having come just so fast. It comes from years and years of really grinding or trying to improve yourself. And also realize that like once you get to that point that you've always dreamed of, it's not going to be as great as you imagined, and that you may have actually enjoyed the process of continuing learning and improving. So with that in mind, that's why I enjoy this right now so much, because I feel like I'm learning, I'm growing, which is really the whole goal of this. And also I'm helping other people, which is amazing. And I'm already super grateful for everyone that's like watching and kind of been following me through this journey. That's just something from my personal experience, I think, that you really have to learn, is to fall in love with the process, because the process is going to be a long road. But if you can fall in love with it, you'll enjoy it so much more, and you're going to stay committed so much more as well, because you're going to actually like doing whatever you're doing. You're going to like the long journey. You're going to like the fact that the universe is in a sense testing you to see how long can you kind of hold out, how long can you keep going when everyone else gives up. So I think my biggest piece of practical advice is don't take it so seriously. Like take it more as a test. Take it as kind of just like a chance for you to really prove yourself and be like, okay, you know, I didn't get views on this video, or I didn't do well on this assignment, or I didn't do well on this test. How can I do better on the next one? And just bounce back just so quickly like that. So I think if you have that mindset, you're going to continue to grow, continue to improve, and you're going to see a lot of success over the long term. And I think one of the biggest things is that like you should always focus on the reps. Just focus on putting in the reps again and again. I was just imagining this situation. Like imagine you're in this room and you're just locked in this room forever, and you have no contact with the outside world. And all you can do is a certain assignment again and again, and until you like perfect it. But if you have no, let's say, like kind of validation or criticism from the outside world, you'll just keep going on this task until you actually perfect it. Like imagine like Michael Jordan just is locked on a basketball court. He only has a basketball. He doesn't have any validation from anybody. He only has the results of like, did he make the shot or not? And he just does that again and again. Right, so like you would keep going until you actually became successful, because there's no input from anybody else. There's no one saying that you can't do it. There's no one saying that you're a failure, that you like haven't really been successful before. This is your first time, you don't have experience, all of that. I think in the real world, we really have to steal that kind of mindset of like, I'm just gonna continue to put in the reps and continue to grow. And those are literally the only things I need to focus on right now. And if I do those two things properly, and I just repeat them again and again and again until like a million times or even a billion times, one day it's all going to work out and it'll be fine. But we just let people get in our head so much. And the problem is, for every piece of criticism that enters your head, like there could be thousands more that come in as well. And then it also just sprouts a ton of negativity. And when the journey is so long, and sometimes you're on the edge of giving up at so many points in that journey. So it really just takes one big piece of criticism to just derail you. So that's why you have to really protect yourself and just try to have a really good reason for why you're doing what you're doing, so you can stay committed to it. And just focus on input. Focus on helping others out, providing some sort of value, and just putting in as much work as possible. And don't worry about the results, because everyone says this, success is like an exponential curve. What happens at the beginning of the exponential curve? There's nothing. There's pretty much no results. There's just like 10 years, or maybe just not 10 years, but maybe like 2 years, no result, no result, no result. And then all of a sudden, all the stuff that you learned from those 2 years comes together, and then it starts just like having exponential, like crazy growth from there. And the thing is, everyone just sees that crazy growth at the end. They don't see those 2 years of you just building up and learning those skills. But it shouldn't discount that. That process is so important. And it's the reason why you're able to have this exponential growth. It's just like if you're planting a flower garden or planting some sort of crop, it takes a long time for that actually to grow. But everyone will always just look at once it's done, but they'll never see those years and years of when there wasn't even a single sprout. And then eventually you had your first sprout. And so like the thing I'm trying to share with you is you should celebrate the time that your corn plant first sprouts, because that's a big achievement. Even though it's not a corn plant yet, even though it's not what you want yet, just it sprouting is a big achievement, and you should be grateful for every little milestone you have along the way, because that's gonna push you forward. That's gonna give you the motivation to keep going, because it's a super long journey and you can't just compare yourself to everyone all the time, because that's gonna absolutely kill your motivation. So I guess a recap for this week. Today I worked about like 4 hours in like kind of like a coffee shop, just grinding out, had some caffeine, it was pretty good. Then this morning, I recorded a lot of videos early in the morning. The rest of this week, not too much going on, but just a lot of studying. Probably going to ramp up studying exponentially too. Yeah, because my finals are all next week. I have 3 finals, 2 biology ones, 1 chemistry one. I would say pretty comprehensive finals. And then after that, I'm going to go home for spring break. So I think this is really the last push of just like going through all the way, leaving nothing on the field, and just grinding as much as I can. And I have to say, I'm very excited. I'm, happy to be able to do this. I realize I'm very lucky to be able to just like grind like this and not have to worry about a lot of other things as a student. That's one of the perks of being a student. And I'm also happy to see like kind of how I continue to grow with this as well. And also, if you guys could like comment down below and let me know if you find these videos helpful, because I really want to know if you guys like actually watch these videos and if I should keep doing them or not. So yeah, just comment down below. It'd be kind of helpful for me to see who's watching the video and if you guys think it's actually helpful or not. And yeah, otherwise, I'm going to try to do updates like as often as I can. It's going to get kind of busy here, but hopefully you guys have another check-in from me. And if not, I think just, if you have any questions, as always, just put them down below. I'm always more than happy to answer anything. And yeah, just realize like, enjoy the process, guys. It's a long process, but if you can enjoy it, you can make it like mentally just like shorter, and you're going to get through it kind of faster. And yeah, that's why I just want to show my side of the story, because I think so many people will show their success side, but they won't show what's going on behind the scenes, balancing all these different things that you have to do and still trying to be your most productive self while also like maintaining your sanity and all of that. So it's a lot to manage, and I just want to be fully transparent with you guys. So yeah, but I think that's it for today. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, but if not, yeah, maybe on the other side of finals.